McBain.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, McBain is, let's see, it says right here, he's a young man. He's born 1967. He turns 52 years old. Yeah, 2020, so that means he's 54.
54, that's not old.
No, it's not old.
Now, he was like a former chief of staff to President Donald Trump, wasn't he?
He's traveled all over the place. Looking for talking, speaking to people. I mean, it's really, really good job. And you know what I like about this? We see a lot of our neighbors, a lot of our hippie wives.
Yeah, she is from the Georgia Elementary School. Miss Taylor, she's here. She said hello. A lot of Tammy, she's the mother of a child that goes to school in Woodbine. She's actually the chair of the GOP. And then she's also part of the women's thing. And they put this together and they've got all these decorations. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Right, you're also the director of the Community Financial Protection Bureau. So he did a lot of things in.
And he's going to be speaking, right? What time is he speaking?
He's going to be speaking at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Yes.
It is absolutely gorgeous, and there are so many people coming in, and it's just beautiful. The decorations are gorgeous.
There's a lot of people coming in, and the guy playing is Tom Bailey. And I think, at the same time, I think that's more. Yeah, I'm just
I don't know what would we do without Miss Edna.
And it's Tom Bell singing out there. All right, let's try this right here. We might have to get a little bit closer. Well, they have put on a lot of things here, but I'll tell you what, they got to look at mice out here.
They've got it absolutely gorgeous. There's a lot of people here. A lot of people.
Yeah, I'll see Rita and Stanley. How y'all doing?
And they said this is sold out, too. This got sold out really quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, it is sold out completely. So we're going to go let you listen to a bit of entertainment here while we're checking a little adjustment here. But I'm Jerry McKee.
And I'm Scarlett Jolly.
And we're going to bring you live the GOP rally here in downtown Union. Nick Devaney is going to be your guest speaker, and it's going to be a big crowd. Oh yes, Midway Barbecue is catering the dinner. It is going to be great. I'm Jerry McKee, and we're going to let you hear a little bit of music going on.
have to tell them to bring it down a little bit.
Yeah, she did tell us to motion if we wanted her to bring it down a little bit.
Well, my engineer's not saying anything now. I'm going to have to call her up, I guess. Let's go back and hear some more music.
All right, let's see. You've been listening to Tom Balick up there. And let me get a chance here to. All right, we're going to see if we can get this sound a little bit better right here.
Lots of people going up to the VIP area.
Right, I'm going to have to cut the microphone, I guess, from up there too. All right, let's see how that's going to work out. Well, we're trying to cut down the lower on the music a little bit, see if they can hear us a little bit. We'll probably have to talk a little bit louder. I'm going to have to look at our sound, but Tom Balick is singing songs up there at the GOP downtown Union, and we got a lot of great sponsors in here. We're going to try to be bringing them up also.
You know, it's a beautiful evening for this.
It sure is. And you know what? I'm going to all right, that's what I got to do here. We're going to let you look at our sponsors here. It's about a good slide. It's going to be real good with you. And let me pop that up and let you look at what they put together. I think it's a pretty neat slide. All right, you ready to watch a slide?
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's watch a slide.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the ones who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the ones who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly God bless the USA.
For heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self our country loved, and mercy more than life. I'm talking about America. Oh, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesty above the fruited plain. Oh, I'm talking about America. Oh, America. God shed His grace on thee. Oh, and He crowned thy good. Yes, He did, with the brotherhood. Shine and see, from sea to shining. Yeah.
Together, we will lead our party back to the White House, and we will lead our country back to safety, prosperity, and peace. We will be a country of generosity and warmth, but we will also be a country of law and order.
Okay, Scarlett.
That was great. You know, there's a lot of sponsors.
Quite a bit of sponsors, and that's a good thing. And I hope people can still hear us like it. The music is a little loud here.
The music is loud. It's nice. I like the music, but it is a bit loud.
It is. That's Tom Bullock is playing up there. And I don't know. I didn't get the girl's name, but
She spoke to me, but I did not get her name. She
No.
seemed super, super sweet.
you know, people's coming by and waving at us and shaking their hands and
They
stuff like that.
have.
So that's been real nice.
You know, I know a lot of people's faces, maybe not their names, but now they are putting name tags on people as they come in.
Right. Well, and that's good because I'm horrible on names, Scarlett. I'm horrible on
I
names.
am too. I
And-
try not to be. I try to pick like something that relates to that person and put it in your memory and remember it.
Now, do
Like Jazzy Jerry, that's how I remember you. That's how I
right,
remember
Jazzy Jerry. Okay, and Midway Barbecue is putting out the like
That looks
cheesecake,
like
don't it?
cheesecake looks
Oh,
amazing.
man. We're gonna-
Absolutely. And different. I think it's different kinds. Like they've got some with the caramels. Yours is plain. Mine's like drizzled in caramel.
No, yours just upside downwards.
Oh, mine's upside down. But I see some with chocolate. I see some with drizzle on it. It's, oh my goodness.
Right, and it's got a little secret agent man there in the background. Now, when you came here, did you see any dignitaries when you came in?
Any what?
Dignitaries.
All right, you're gonna have to tell me what a dignitary is.
Oh, that would be someone. Well, that's going to be someone that's.
Important people.
Yes, there you go.
Important people.
Important people.
Yes,
And,
I saw Tom Maccabee when I came in. We saw the doctor. We saw, and like I said, I'm hard with names. There are a lot of elite people in Union County here.
Well, there is, quite a few people here that's we ain't seen in a long time. I see them once in a while, and you
Yeah.
probably see a lot more by being a
I see,
hairdresser.
and I know a lot of faces, and yeah, there are several of my clients here who have said hello to me when they saw me sitting over here. I guess they were surprised that I showed up with you tonight.
Well, they never know when they're going to see us, right?
Absolutely, we would just show up anywhere.
So, and the guy does play good music here, and
We've got the American flag, the Christian flag. I love that Republicans are not scared to put their Christian values out there.
right, it is, and that's what the slide was about. It gave what it is to be a Republican, what they believe in. They got little cards on the table that talks all about this right here, and like I said, it was a very good slide. It was put together. And matter of fact, this whole event has been really great. They've got the tables really decked out nice. They got the VIPs upstairs that you can buy a VIP ticket to meet some of the dignitaries. And also, just to have a little fun up there, relax a little bit before we get into the meeting that will be at 7 o'clock. So stay tuned to that. 7 o'clock is going to be the meeting, and then Mick McVaney will give his speech. And we're looking forward to hearing that.
I'm excited to hear his point of view on things. I really am glad that he decided to come to Union County. And from what I understand, he hasn't been to South Carolina before, has he?
I don't think
we
so.
know of?
Now, he was a congressman in South Carolina, but
Okay, that's
since
right.
since that happened then, I don't think he's been to Union.
Union. Okay,
So,
we're
Freddie
just-
Galt was a good instrument in getting that together. And Tom Maccabee, which is the leader, and all the Republican Party members has really worked hard on this.
And they've got the Women's Republican Party. They've got the Young Republicans coming in. They're trying to start that up.
So that's a great thing. And we're going to switch over and let them play a little music in a minute, and we'll cut our end off.
Absolutely.
And I got to go over and adjust the camera to get her in, too.
bird. Very fine joker. He's a bird. He's a dog. He's joking, he's so funny. What a dog. He's a joker, he's just in my bed. He's a bird dog. Johnny sings a bird song like a bird. Sings the sweetest bird song I've ever heard. He's just a bird down. Wow. To me, he's just a bird dog. Johnny wants to fly away, but we are my babies. A bird dog. Hey, bird dog, get away from my way. Hey, bird dog, you're on the wrong trail. Bird dog, you baby, let me tell you long. Hey, bird dog, get away from my chick. Hey, bird dog, get away from my
All right, we're back again. We're going to see how everything's going now. I know it's a little muffled on the music a little bit.
It is.
I don't know if it's too loud or we've got it adjusted out right or not. But we're going to see if ourselves can make sure ours is correct and going right. That way we'll make sure everybody's will be able to hear us.
But you know, Jerry, the music's good. It's cover music of old songs. I love it. I mean,
It
it's really
is.
good.
Yeah, the music is good.
And so many people are they're doing that meet and greet with Mulvaney now upstairs, having their pictures
Right. There's
made.
a lot of them upstairs. How you doing, sir? And some of them's coming back down and up, back and forth. So, you know, that the speech will get started around 7 o'clock. That's when the GOP will open up this meeting.
Oh yeah.
They will have their pledge of allegiance to the flag and several other different things there goes on before the meeting starts.
So right now it's just a mingling type thing, getting to know each other, running into old faces, old people, and just nice people, and
Right.
it's just great.
Hey.
Hey, how are you guys? A lot of people are just walking by and waving at us and wanting to speak to us, and it's just real busy.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know. Well, that's good because you know we don't need them real long. Here it's a small room, but we don't need it real long. And it is. Well, let's switch back to them. Let's see if we can hear them a little bit now, and let me check the sound a little bit more.
learned a lesson. I only could get on. Next time around, come on and so language is fun. Come on and trust fund. He's around.
All right, we're gonna try it again. Like I said, the music is good music and stuff like that, but this is not an acoustic type place.
Yeah.
So it does make a little roar noise, and plus you got people that's trying to really talk loud.
I know they are. They're talking over each other a little bit, but that's okay. And it's getting pretty crowded. We're only about 18 minutes away from them starting.
We're
and
about 15 minutes away.
about 15 minutes,
Right,
so
and
it's
then
not going to
they're
be that
gonna,
long.
Start the program. We're going to
And-
get to hear and see Mick Mulvaney.
And so Freddie Galt's going to be the one to open up and then announce
Yes,
the speakers.
he's going to open up, and then Tom McAbee will be speaking also.
Oh, wow. That sounds good. You know, the ladies that are here look so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. As a hairdresser, I spot that perfect, well put together attire that these ladies are wearing. Everybody's dressed up. Everybody seems so happy to be here. And you know, I've never seen so many preachers under one roof at one time.
Well, I know it well. It's got to keep us all, keep everybody straight, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the
And
first chair to the GOP, Tammy and Adams, she also sells Girl Scout cookies. She says she's got some Girl Scout cookies in the trunk of her car if we want to buy some afterwards.
Girl Scout cookies, that
Oh,
sounds good.
yeah.
I tell you what, I'm still looking at that cake right there. I believe they're going to serve the dinner, or they're going to have people come up and get the dinner at the tables. It's going to be them come through the line where they brought the plates here. I think we'll bring the plates up there, and they serve you coming by there. And I think they're going to do that at 7 o'clock also.
At 7 o'clock. So we'll eat while
Eat while it's going on like that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good for us.
Well, it is. So that way we can eat also,
But
can't
I
we?
always like to start dessert first.
Oh, yes. Me too.
Yeah.
When we have family reunions like that and all the desserts over there, well, I go to desserts while everybody's lined up for the other.
Like a little something salty after my sweet.
Right. Well, I'm Jerry McKee, and
And I'm Scarlett Jolly, and we are at the GOP Republican Red Rally.
that's right. And they invited us here, and they got Tom Bullock up there that's playing, and we've got to get that lady's name. We give her a plug in there.
I know, she's so sweet, and she sounds so good backing him up.
Right. I see Brian Ellis over here. He come over here and greet us here. They got the great photography, and they do videography too. They do a lot of weddings and do a great job at it.
Yeah, and there was a lady that was speaking to me earlier that was a photographer too.
That's his wife.
Oh, that's his okay. It's like, everybody's speaking to me, and I'm just like, "Hey, how are you?"
Yeah.
You know, my pastor and his wife are here.
Yeah, that's his wife. And
They say they're really good photographers, and she said that she was a photographer for a long time, and then she passed it down to her daughter.
right.
When
Well,
she was ready to
they
give it
do
up.
excellent pictures, videos. I mean, they do an excellent job. I've been on a couple weddings with them, and they do an excellent job. I see Barbara Rippey come in.
Yeah, there are a lot of attorneys and doctors here. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people here.
Barbara Rippey is a good supporter of the Republican Party.
Okay.
And also a philanthropist of Union County, one of the best. Sweet lady. She was in the hospital for a little bit and got out. I think she might have had COVID or something, but she's much better now. See, she's showing a blanket or a T-shirt up there.
Yeah, and then people are going upstairs and getting their picture made with Mulvaney now,
Oh, okay.
and they're coming back.
Well, I'm
and
going
forth.
to we're going to switch it over. We're going to hear a little bit more music as much as you can, and we'll be right back.
Thank
All right, we're back.
We are back, and I got us some bottled waters.
Yep. Is it the music has quit? Yes, we know it is. But yeah, we're waiting for the guest speaker. Will be coming down soon in about 5 more minutes.
And it looks like a lot of them are heading down to get seated.
Yeah, it look like a lot of them getting down. You know, we're getting ready. We're going to be eating some good stuff here in a moment.
I'm excited.
Prime
I am,
rib.
and I'm hungry. I brought my appetite with me.
Me too. I just said, well, you know, I'm not going to eat anything for a week.
I had a few potato chips, I think, before, and then this morning I had like a steak biscuit for breakfast, but that's about it.
Yeah, and I tell you, we're excited about our guest speaker. The people are here excited. The atmosphere is really great. They're pumped up because, you know, this is a big election year, and please go out and vote. That's important.
Absolutely. I think that's what this road rally is about, to get people excited about voting and getting people more involved and just pulling from the community. And
well, you know, and that's an important thing that you got to do. You've got to register for vote, for one thing.
yes.
And it's easy to do. It's very easy.
How do you register, Terry? Tell me how you go about registering.
All you
to
got to
vote.
do is just go down to the polls there on 176.
Here in Union.
Right in
on
Union, right across from Lewis's funeral home.
Okay.
Go in there, and they will sign you up. And you can see on Facebook where a lot of places are signing up. You know, so you can come in, register to vote. We'll help you register to vote. If you call anyone from the GOP, you've got Freddie Galt. He'll help you. You got Tom McAbee. Tamarianne.
Yeah, Doug Gillum's here tonight.
Doug Gillum's here tonight too, yes. And you know, you've got
There's a lot of people that'll help. That'll step in and help you. I've been registered for so long, I didn't know if there was a way, you know, it was different.
well, it's no different.
It's no different.
No,
now, I
no.
know you can register online too now, can't you?
You can, but you know, are you registered?
I am. Yes,
Oh,
I vote.
yes.
I do.
Well, I hope so, because if you wasn't, I was going to have to throw you off
Throw
here.
me on out. I wouldn't get my steak dinner or my cheesecake, would I?
No, your cheesecake will be taken away.
Well, I was going to tell you, we can trade. If you like the caramel drills, and I can take the plain one or whatever you want to do.
Well,
I'm just your guest, and I'm
well,
so
you know,
thankful.
you know, just watching the people here is it's almost like a Christmas party or something like that.
It really is, and I've come to wedding receptions here before, and it gets full.
Yeah, I'm seeing the hugs. I'm seeing people coming up shaking hands and seen each other in a long time, and they're all here for one purpose, and that purpose is to see the candidates, hear some of the candidates, because some of the candidates are here, and start pumping this community up, getting back and getting involved in their community. That's all it is to it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And weren't we supposed to, you know, Shane Martin was a big part of this too, wasn't he?
Yes,
A
he
part of
was.
this?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we used to go to church together. We're friends.
yeah, look like some of the dignitaries
Here
are coming
they
down
come.
now. We're gonna.
So here in a few minutes, we'll turn the cameras on to when they do the introduction. And
Yes, we will do that. The music has stopped for the moment because of that. The dignitaries getting ready to come down.
everybody's getting ready, and, you know, they have guards around them.
Yes. How you doing, sir?
Here's Mr. Mulvaney now speaking to Jerry, and Jerry's gonna give him his microphones and get everything ready. Mr. Mulvaney speaking with Jerry. And we were going to see if he would do a one-on-one with us after this, weren't we? Going to try to do that.
All right, sorry about that interruption, folks. Just here you go. Hold on a second. We're not turning it on. On the bottom.
So Jerry is with Freddie Galt, Mr. Mulvaney, putting the microphones on them right now so that they can speak with us. And everybody seems so happy and so excited to be here, and I'm excited to be here, and I'm so thankful. We've got Miss Edna, and she's at home base running our technical things, and there are cameras all the way around here, so you'll get different viewpoints of what we're live streaming. I know that everybody, and especially the Republicans, are excited to have this event here tonight. So you guys keep tuning in. We're about to go to that in just a few minutes.
All right. Now, had to wire up the Mick Mulvaney.
I just kept talking.
And I'm glad you did, because I had to get out of the picture a little bit and give them some instruction. You could have done that.
I know.
So we're going to, I got them mic'd up, so we're going to have them right sound. I see security is walking right with him.
Security is here, and
As the State Highway Patrol, I believe that's with him.
oh, okay.
All right, and you see anybody,
So Tom McAbee's taking the stage down. He's just kind of, I guess, putting notes and things up there, getting everything
all right, I
prepared.
tell you what, we're going to go off, not off, but we're going to go ahead and get to the podium here in just a moment. We're going to see
And
how.
I like that we've got the American flag and the Christian flag here. There's a lot of things I like about it. No?
That's the American flag and the South Carolina
South
flag.
Okay.
You've
Jerry,
seen the blue, right?
I
and-
just
and
want
it
y'all
really
to know
is-
that Jerry did not educate me on this a whole lot before I've come. I'm not used to being around all these political people, but I'm learning.
Oh, well, you're doing a great job. I appreciate you helping me
But
out
the
here.
South Carolina flag is a Christian flag, because most of this is the Bible Belt, isn't it?
It is. It is. And
Edna's gonna just
well,
smack me over the head with one of her frying pans, and she.
well, make sure they got some cornbread in it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And let's see who else we got. I see
There's-
Stanley and Rita Vanderford, and they're kin to us.
Oh,
That's Edna's
yeah.
uncle and all. They got the front load table. I see also. Let's see. Both doctors Woodalls are here. He's a dermatologist, and she works in the school system in Spartanburg.
Yeah, Miss Taylor's here. Scott and Sonia Cannon's here. And everybody's wearing name tags, too, so that if they
Oh.
don't know each other, but they recognize each other's faces,
They sure
can
can.
read those name tags.
And I also see our name up there in red, white, and blue.
I know, I love it. And I
Right.
love that you changed it to my legal name, Jolly, because I know that I go by Whitfield on Facebook, but
Well, nobody would
legally,
know it.
Nobody can.
No,
They don't know.
no.
And, you know, there's a lot of Scarletts I didn't realize. There's a Scarlett Alexander and another Scarlett. And
That's right. And we're getting ready to start here in just a few minutes, so we're going to switch over and see if we can. I see Tom McAbee up there. And we're going to switch over and see if get some sound up that way.
If I could have everybody's attention, please. How's everybody doing tonight? Pretty good? All right, everybody, I want to welcome you to the Union County Republican Red Party tonight. I want you to take a look around and just kind of take this in for a moment. This is probably the first time that we've had an event like this in a long time. Freddie, I think you could agree. And it's all thanks to you, and we really do appreciate each and every one of you coming out tonight. I had a speech to give, but my stomach started rumbling. I'm ready to eat. I don't know about you. So no speeches. We do want to thank our VIP sponsors. Without you, a lot of this could not be possible, and we're going to get to that in just a second. The first thing I want to do is the officers for the Union County Republican Party to please stand. And I want you to give them a round of applause. First Chairman, Tammy Ann Adams. Second Chairman, Darren Hartz. We've got our Secretary. We've got Angie Fell back here. And, of course, our Treasurer, Ms. Stacy McAbee. Our VIP sponsors include Brian Talbert, State Farm Insurance, WTs of Jonesville, Charlie's Auto Sales, Dr. John Flood, our Union County Councilman that serves. We really appreciate you. The Doctors Woodall, Union County, South Carolina Republican Women's Group. Our South Carolina District 42 House Representative, Mr. Doug Gillum. He's here tonight with us. South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson. South Carolina State Senator Harvey Peeler. South Carolina State Senator Shane Martin. And Jay Allen with Midway Barbecue. Also, we want to say a special thanks to Tom Balick. Now, the group that was playing up here this evening, they're called Rockin' on the Right Side. Is that correct? Well, they were rocking tonight. Give them a hand. The food provided tonight is by Midway Barbecue. Thank you so much for doing that for us. We also want to thank Smith's Jewelry Store and Embroidery by Karen and Nani's for selling tickets in the community for this event. Cotton Belt Event Planning. Ladies and gentlemen, the decor that you're seeing tonight is put out by Cotton Belt Event Planning. Doesn't it look great? Looks fantastic. That is provided by Crystal Hartz. Amanda Upton Photography. We want to thank Main Street Junction, Jerry McKee Videography, and also the young volunteers that we have with the Young Republican Party. Brooke and Caitlin Adams, Jacob Hartz, Devin Feld, and Jacob Galt. And also, we'll have more announcements to come when it comes to the Union County Young Republican Party. Why are we here tonight? Well, it's to raise awareness of the Republican Party we have here in Union. Yes, we have a Republican Party in Union County. Our intentions are simple: to get more involved in the community, to raise awareness. We want to get more people in the community involved with the Republican Party. Sometimes it's not about party lines. It's about helping out in the community. We want to have more of a presence here. And looking around tonight, I'm very excited about what's to come. We want to thank you for coming out tonight. More or less, it's simple. On the state and national level, there's no doubt South Carolina will vote Republican all day long. We want to get involved locally to get local candidates to run Republican. And the best way to do that is to get involved. If you don't like certain things that you see in the community, come out, get involved. We want to make sure that we're present and that we're here for you to let you know that we are meeting the first Monday of every month. And Tammy Ann, you can give that address.
708 South Duncan Bypass, Suite D, in the Farms Building. It's in the Nixon Center.
All right. So with that said, my tummy rumbled again, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Listen, before we do that, we're going to have a prayer blessing, and it's going to be given by Chief Mike Lancaster. If you would, sir, please.
Let's pray. Our Father, you promise us for two or three gather together in your name, you'll be in the midst of us and bless us. I ask now that you bless this public party. Strengthen them. Use your guidance to help lead them and lead our community into bigger and better things. We ask now that you bless this food that we're about to receive, use it for the miracle of our bodies. Our bodies is our service. For these things we ask in your name. Amen. Amen.
Y'all, I was just kidding. We ain't eating yet. No, I'm very honored to have the next individual give us the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would, please welcome Kevin Brewington and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I also want to welcome South Carolina State Treasurer. He's here with us tonight. Mark Hammond, we really appreciate you coming out tonight. That's right. Very honored to have him. We also have Mr. Glenn McCall tonight with the National Republican Party. Thank you so much for being here with us. All right, at this time, we are going to do we've actually got the national anthem. It's going to be performed live. This is going to be Tom Bailey and Jennifer Schmidt.
What do you say we show the state of South Carolina what Union County Patriots sound like? I hope you'll sing along with us with gusto. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what's so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, rooftop stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? You all sound fabulous.
All right. Y'all sound real good. Real good. I was lip syncing, so that did good. All right. So we're going to do one more thing before we start to eat, because my stomach has growled now for the fourth time. So normally, if you were to go to a Republican Party meeting anywhere in the state, there's a South Carolina Republican Creed. I didn't know how many of you may already know that, but it's true. If you decide to, or if you choose to, in these meetings, we stand up and we recite the Republican Creed, the South Carolina Republican Creed. Tonight, we've decided to take a different direction with this. I think, and we all believe, in that Republican creed if you are a Republican. Some of you may have never heard that before. Normally, we stand up and we recite it together. We felt that it was best, instead of reciting it, it's time for us to listen to it and reflect on it, especially here in 2022. We need to hear the words, reflect on the words, understand their meaning, and truly listen to what it says and what you as Republicans may believe and do believe. So tonight, to deliver the Republican creed is Caitlin Adams. She is one of our young Republicans here in Union. If you wish to stand, you can. Listen to the words and reflect on what it means.
I do not choose to be a common man. It is my right to be uncommon. If I can seek opportunity, not security, I want to take the calculated risk to dream and build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to barter incentive for dole. I prefer the challenges of life to guaranteed security, the thrill of fulfillment to the still calm of utopia. I will not trade freedom for beneficence, nor my dignity for a handout. I will never cower before any master save my God. It is my heritage to stand erect, proud, and unafraid, to think and act for myself, enjoy the benefit of my creations, to face the whole world boldly and say, I am a free American.
All right, now it's time to eat. Miss Caitlin, thank you. Thank you so much. This is just one of our young Republicans that are beginning to get involved with the Republican Party here in Union County. So right now, I'm going to give you the directions on how we're going to serve the food. The far table in this direction will be able to serve 2 lines, one on each side. This table over here is 1 line that we're going to be able to serve. This is where you're going to be able to get your drinks. If you would please, we ask that the Honorable Mick Mulvaney in this table to go first. That's right, you get a chance to watch them all grab food. We're going to let this table go first, okay? We want the Honorable Mulvaney to go ahead and eat before it's time to speak. You take your plates? Absolutely. Make sure you got your plates with you. You take those. If you want to eat out of hand, that's fine. I'm from Monarch. I know how it is, all right? So I want everybody to enjoy your meal and have a good night. We'll be back in a little bit.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the ones who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the ones who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the ones who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Yes, there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Together, we will lead our party back to the White House, and we will lead our country back to safety, prosperity, and peace. We will be a country of generosity and warmth, but we will also be a country of law and order.
Asparagus and mashed potato corn, like you said, steak, cheesecake, different beverages, I think water and sweet tea. I'm excited, Jerry. So what are we going to do with people? I guess we'll have to. It is. There are a lot of people. Everybody's so excited. Midway does have such a wonderful dinner when they cater the parties.
He's a Methodist preacher in
I'm excited. Yeah.
Is got COVID and passed away.
I know that we're going to be the last
now.
one,
Still just the
but
one?
that's okay.
All right. Let me.
I thought the blessing and the prayer was beautiful. Caitlin Adams, the young Republican that did.
Hold on a second there. We're gonna switch this right quick. All right, Scarlett, here we are again.
Here we are again.
Yeah, here we are again.
What I was going to tell you is the young Republican that did the Republican Creed, Caitlin Adams. She's really good friends with my son Aubrey, and I've done their hair. They're super, super sweet people, good people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to do some switching here whenever I'm doing the slideshow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have to switch back and take off, remove back over a couple of little things I had to do. So other than that, it was good.
And there's lots of security here too. I didn't realize we would have this much security.
Oh yes, we got these dignitaries here, and we have got a lot of security. And you know, we need to understand that these guys have a very important job to do in our state, and they have to have security because, you know, just imagine in your own hometown a little bit of animosity from something you said or politically wise or something you did, and someone blows up. But this thing covering the whole state, and you need security.
You do, you have to. I mean, these people put their lives on the line every day just to represent our state and our country, and I don't know how they do it.
Well, you know, when you're running for office, you're putting your whole family, your life, everything out there to be exposed. And I mean, everything from your past, from your childhood on up is exposed.
Your life is like transparent. It's just out there.
Well, would you run for office?
You know, some champagne with the campaign.
That's it.
That might be. I could do that. Can you see me being first lady?
Right.
White House. Bring it on down to Union County.
Well, I just want to see, you're going to be the mayor of Jonesville.
Well, we have a mayor that does a really good job.
Well, that's true, but he might want to retire and say, well, you know what, I'm going to give it up, and I'm going to let somebody else run. Well, you would have to, you would really have to campaign.
Well, they have campaign managers. You would have to be my campaign manager because I get to that part of success, then, all you little people have to do that stuff for me, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I can see right now that your term will be a short term.
Short term. I don't think they pay that much.
All right. Well, you're watching the GOP rally here in downtown Union, and welcome to watching the speech is getting ready to come up with Mick Mulvaney. So stay tuned for that. Also, right now, everyone's getting their dinner to sit down and be able to relax and enjoy the speech. And I hope that Mick Mulvaney gets his food first. Okay.
He'll start his speech before.
Well, I think he'll start when everybody's starting to settle down and eat like that. And this is a sold-out event. He did. And this is a sold-out event. And that's a great thing to see also, that this is actually sold out. And that's how people are excited about.
Everybody seems so happy, and the dinner looks absolutely delicious. And
Well, Midway Barbecue does a great job in catering. And people think, well, they do catering. Is it going to be just barbecue? But no, they do all kind of food.
like I said, a couple of Christmas parties, they had the steak dinners. But like I'm looking now at the tables, and they've got the asparagus. It looks like the whole green beans, the mashed potato bar, and then with the steak and the cheesecake. I mean, this is really, really nice. I like it.
It is nice.
I'm excited for us to get in line.
Yeah, we're going to have to get in line here in just a second. As a matter of fact, I'm going to switch it over to another camera and put something else up there to let people know that this is what we're doing. And just to stay tuned, we're going to get right back on this in just a moment.
All right, everybody. I know we're all enjoying dinner right now. And that cheesecake's horrible, isn't it? Awful. So bad. If you don't eat yours, let me know. All right, we're going to go ahead and get things started. First person I'm going to introduce, I've really got to say thank you to this individual. Just about every event I want to say he's come to. And we really can't thank you enough. And that is the Republican Executive National Committeeman, Mr. Glenn McCall. Please give him a round of applause.
Thank everyone for having me. Thank you very much, Tom. I really appreciate everything you're doing. And Freddie, who is doing a wonderful job, the team here and all their officers. And I won't be here long. I'm the Republican National Committeeman for South Carolina on the Republican National Committee. And folks ask me a lot, what do you do? What does the National Committee do for us? We're responsible for the infrastructure for electing federal candidates. And without that apparatus, we really couldn't win an election because candidates really don't have the resources to pour into what it takes to get the ground game out. So that's what we do. What we're doing right now, we're trying to, and we will, defend election integrity in 30 states. Excuse me. We have hired a little over 150 attorneys that are looking at election laws, and where we don't want the election stolen. We want election integrity, one vote, one person. And if you notice, the Democrats are doing all they can to steal election. We also have filed lawsuits in New York, and you know what's happening there. What's going on in New York? They're allowing non-citizens to vote. And we feel if it happens there, it's going to continue throughout, they'll try throughout the country. Also, what we're doing is we're helping our sister committees, the Senatorial Committee, Congressional Committee. We have transferred to date nearly $40 million to ensure that we can take back the House and possibly the Senate. It's going to be a little tough. Also, I want to just make sure we listen to Fox News and other stations, and they're really high on the party. You know, they show 30 Democrats that have said they're not running re-election, and we're going to get all those seats. We're not going to, but we will win because it's really a tight margin, and Chief of Staff Mulvaney can talk more about this than I, but they're really, right now in the House, there are only, I think, 8 seats that President Trump won, that Democrats, that we can flip. So it's not going to be as easy as we think. We're going to have to work hard. We're going to have to contribute to candidates. We're going to have to contribute to the infrastructure and local parties, even in our states. I think in this state, I think in South Carolina, we'll do well, but we can't take anything for granted. And also we have to, who can beat us, I think, this year? If the course, the Biden administration stay on the course that they're on, is ourselves. We have to be together. We were out in Utah a week or so ago, and the party voted to censor several candidates in the party who's on the January 6th commission, which I don't agree with what happened on the 6th, and I think most of us don't. Any insurrection that may have occurred and so forth. But I personally feel, and I told several folks with the party, that should be a state issue. We shouldn't be getting involved in that. How often, and Freddie can tell you, since I've been in the party with, how often have we censored Lindsey Graham? What has it done? Huh? What did we gain from it? Yes, not enough. So as a result, we have to stick together. And we're the ones that can beat ourselves this election cycle, because President Biden and the Democrats is giving us, it's in a basket, but we have to continue to work hard. We're going to have to continue to support our local candidates, and I love what you're doing here. Freddie had called me. He said, Glenn, can you come to the event? We need some color. We want to add some color to the event. And what he was saying is that Union County is getting red to the roots, and he wanted to bring in a little more color to that. So I want to thank all of you for what you do, because this is where it happened. And I'll leave you with this. You can flip just about it. Passion. We have passion on our side. We're fired up. And passion can exceed the dollars, the dark money that's coming in. And we have a great example right here with us. I was so fortunate to serve for 6 years. In 2010, I was the chair in York County. And this young whippersnapper ran against 30-year incumbent, John Spratt, who had a big war chest. He was the budget committee chair, but there was so much passion. Matter of fact, we have the Hines, and there's a table, Mick, back here from Sun City in Lancaster County, and they were also helping on that. But there was so much passion behind his candidacy that you know what happened. And some of you voted for him, I'm sure, here in Union County. But continue to fight, continue to do what you're doing. And I just thank you. I truly thank you. Because my wife Linda and I, we're Republicans. We're conservative Republicans. And even though we don't get invited to Thanksgiving dinners, and whenever we do, we don't talk politics, and we try to talk facts. And when we talk facts, then that's where it goes. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear the CNN talking points and so forth. But we love this party. I don't see color. No one in this party have treated me any different, Linda and I love that. And I'm a 24-year Air Force veteran. And as I tell relatives and kids, if these old knees would still work and if they would take me, I would sign back up, because it gave me everything, joining the military, the Air Force, education. And so thank you for what you do. Thank you for America. We really need you. And all communities need you. And I think we're going to have a great election year. And I think President Trump loved this policy. And I have relatives that are staunch Democrats that really like what he was doing as it relates to the economy and jobs and things, and said, I'm a Democrat, but I'm going to vote for President Trump. The problem is we just didn't get enough of them to vote for President Trump, but that's okay. I think the American people, we have to see what damage the Democrats could do. And God bless you. God bless America. And thank you very much for allowing me to be here.
You can't follow that. Thank you, Glenn. I want to remind folks, he's absolutely right. You know, in order to get candidates in office, you have to run. And it's just as simple as that. And I just want to say that filing begins in March. So we've got a couple of council seats that have come open. County supervisor is open. We've got one candidate so far that is announced. Got Philip Russell in the crowd. So again, filing begins in March. So if you want to get involved, the best way to do that, if you wish to, there are seats available and positions available here in Union County. If you feel like you want to run, do so. Starts in March. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead.
Everybody in both agencies, OMB and Consumer Affairs, and saying Merry Christmas. He said, I got a couple emails back saying from Consumer Affairs, from the Elizabeth Warren Group, Mr. Director, we can't say that. Our policy says you can't say Merry Christmas. And Mick says, well, as the director, that the policy no longer exists. Merry Christmas. And then President Trump had some more ideas for Mick, and he made him the top job, the Chief of Staff to the President of the United States, which is a powerful, powerful job, and one that the President chooses only for someone who he has trust and respect for, and he chose Mick. Mick served great in that position, and then at the end of the term served as an envoy to Northern Ireland, an area that means so much to Mick and his family. But to tell you how I met Mick, so back in 2010, I was helping Trey Gowdy. He called me and said, I'm going to run for Congress. I was helping him run because we were in the 4th District at the time. And we were traveling around the state at different Republican events, and I met, we'd be around the room, and over there was Jeff Duncan, who was running in 2010 in his area, and Tim Scott down in Charleston. He was actually running against the Thurman family and other families that were so powerful down that way. And a guy by the name of Mulvaney was running over, like Glenn said, over in District 5 against a seat that the Republicans had not held since Reconstruction. A guy named John Spratt, who had been around since Reconstruction almost. He was running over there. And then Trey, so they all won. So then the first year Trey was in office, we're down in Columbia at a GOP event, and Trey said, Freddie, I want you to meet a guy named Mick Mulvaney, probably the smartest man I've ever met. And for Trey to say that, I'm going, wow. And I met Mick and his Chief of Staff, Al Simpson, become good friends with him. Then in 2012, and Christy knows Al, they served on the Board of Education together, so they changed the districts when we had the new district line, so we moved over to the 5th District, and I began to help Mick and Al on the campaign side because it's 11 counties, and they couldn't get up to Spartanburg and Cherokee and Union and Chester. I helped them become very close to them. Then one day I get a call. Al said, Mick wants you to come to work for us. So I went to work for him. The greatest job I ever had, I got to tell you. And I learned very quickly. He was the smartest man. I learned so much from him and Al that I can never learn from anyone else. Just great, great work. But I'll say this here. One election night, I think it was in 2012, when I was just heading on the campaign side, and Mick a lot of times would have his victory parties at different bars. So we're at a bar over in Lancaster, and me and Mick and Al and Eric Bedingfield were outside looking at our phones and seeing how the votes were coming in all the different counties. And we saw Mick was going to win. They'd already declared him the winner. So he started calling sheriffs and senators from around the district that had won, saying congratulations. And he said, I'm going to call Trey. So when he does, I look, I said, Mick, I'm looking at the numbers. You did better tonight than Trey did when he had Union County. So he puts him on speakerphone. And he calls him up, and Trey says, hello, and Mick goes, hey, Trey, he said, I want you to say congratulations, saw you won. And Trey said, well, Mick, congratulations to you, too. I knew you was going to win. He said, okay, said, but Gowdy, listen, I'm looking at the numbers. I did better in Union than you did. And there was a pause. And then Gowdy goes, but Mick, understand, when I had Union County, Freddie Galt was helping me. But he and Trey have been friends. They work together, have helped me out so much of my life. But this time, my friend, Mick Mulvaney.
I can't tell you how nice it is to be home. I traveled for 15 years for work. I've been home now for 2, and I don't do this much anymore. And Freddie called me up, and I said, he goes, can I have a favor? I'm like, Freddie, yeah. And he goes, can you come to Union and give a speech? I'm like, Freddie, I'll do anything for you. So, and I mean that. I mean that. The family means a great deal to me. They don't know where Jacob is. There's Jacob, and Melody's here. John Nick's not here, but that family means a great deal to me. Thank you all very much for everything you do for this county, and thank you for being my friend, and I appreciate that. So when he calls me and says, would you come give a speech? I'm like, Freddie, I don't give speeches anymore, man. I don't have to do this. In fact, it occurred to me that as I was driving over here tonight, the last time I spoke in public was at my dad's funeral in December. I gave the eulogy at that. But it was my dad. It was time for my dad. It was a happy occasion. We had a good family Irish wake. But I was having to give the eulogy, and it had been a while again since I talked. I'd never talked about a subject like that, and I didn't know how to start the speech. And my cousin walks up to me and says, "Well, you got to tell a joke." And for those of you who know, I don't do jokes because I don't have a sense of humor. I'm a budget director. I hope to do better than that tonight. Good news is I'm not running for office anymore, ever again, which is great. Which means I get to talk about anything I want to, and I get to say anything I want to, and y'all get it sort of unfiltered and unedited. When you're up here running for office, you have to think, well, now if I say this, I might upset that person. If I say this, that person might not give me a check. So I have to figure out a way to say things to keep as many people in the room happy as possible. I don't have to do that anymore. I can say whatever I want to say. So I want to talk a little bit about something that means a lot to me, and it's something we've talked about already tonight. You heard Glenn mention it. Y'all know about it. It's winning elections. Now, that sounds like that's sort of self-evident. We're going to get here and talk about winning elections. Sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we talk about how to win arguments, okay? And that's not the same thing as winning an election. I'm not here tonight to talk about winning arguments. By the way, winning arguments is getting harder and harder. One of the most disturbing conversations I have had in the last 2 years since I left the administration, I spoke with John Carl. John is a reporter for the ABC News Network, and he and I spoke to an honors student from the University of Southern California, and we're going over a bunch of different things. And John and I had disagreed on some Trump policies, disagreed on some Trump things, and we had a little debate in front of these 40 of USC's, the other USC's best kids. Unless I guess you're the president of the University of South Carolina, you think it's the same thing, but that was the early guy, right? Anyway. And then John left. And this young woman walks up to me and she says, "Can I ask you a personal question?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." And she goes, "Are you friends with that man?" I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, we go to dinner together. We go to the National baseball game together. Our kids go to school together at the University of Virginia. I would consider him to be a friend. Why do you have such a quizzical look on your face?" And she said, "Well, because it seems like y'all disagree about a lot of things." I said, "Yeah, I guess that's probably about right." And she goes, "Well, you know, that's not how I was raised." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, how were you raised?" She goes, "Well, I was raised to learn that, you know, everybody has his or her own opinion and everybody's entitled to their own opinion." And then she said, "And everybody's opinion is just as valid as anybody's else," and that's where she started to lose me. But then she said, "But I could never really be friends with anybody who disagrees with me." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" She goes, "Yeah, no, that's not, we don't do that." And I saw her interact during I could tell she was a little bit left of center leaning by the questions she asked.
The class was in the cross section. And there was another young man who was there, who sat next to her, and I said, "Well, what about that guy? You and he disagree." She, "Yeah, he's very nice, and I like him, but we would never hang out socially together because he's a Republican and I'm a Democrat." That is a longer discussion for another day. How do you win an argument? How do you convince people when we are losing the ability to talk to folks who don't agree with us? That's not what I'm here to talk about tonight. That's the next speech I give next time Freddie asks me to come down. This speech is how do we win elections? And the first rule, it's just a couple rules. It's pretty simple. It's a lot easier than people realize. First rule is you have to have really good candidates. Bad candidates lose. Good candidates have a really good chance of winning. They don't always win, but they have a much better chance. I'll never forget, I'm sitting with the president the night after we lost the special election in Alabama to replace Jeff Sessions. We nominated, I can't remember the name of the guy we nominated, but the Democrats won. Doug Jones won that election. And the president was absolutely hopping mad that we lost his special election. He comes down and in quite flowery language asks me how I thought we lost this election in deep, deep red Alabama. I said, "Mr. President, we did sort of nominate a guy that some people think is a pedophile." And he goes, "What?" I'm like, yeah, that was the knock against our candidate, was that he might be a pedophile. He's like, "Oh, well, that's why he lost." Yes, that's bad candidates lose. We have to go out and find good people to run. I was glad to hear Tom tonight tell people there's spaces you can run for right now in Union County. There are jobs that need to be filled by good people. By the way, that goes on both parties. I'd much rather have a good Democrat than a bad Republican. I really would. We'll talk more about that in a second. But we need good people to run for office. Keep in mind, back in 2000, and I think it was it 10 or 12, When we had Todd Aiken in Missouri, Sharon Angle, Christine, I am not a witch O'Donnell, and the Democrats knew it. And the Democrats know how to take advantage of it. When we offer bad candidates, they know how to beat us. How do they do it? If they go find the bad Republican candidate and put money behind that candidate in a primary. Harry Reid spent more money getting Sharon Angle elected in a Republican primary than he spent on himself that year. Because he knew that he could beat a bad, we should have won the Senate dramatically in 2010. And we did not, because we had bad candidates on the ballot. We have to find good people to run for office. The good news is that we develop talent a lot better than the Democrats do. We are better at developing a bench. We're better at developing young talent. And I can prove this to you. If Donald Trump doesn't run for election in 2024, and I don't know if he does or not, I tend to think he will, but if he doesn't, there'll be 15 really, really good Republican candidates. And I'm not just saying that because they're Republican. They're talented people. I mean, go down, you can name 6 or 8 right now. You got Ron DeSantis, Tim Scott, Nikki Haley, Kristi Noem, Mike Pompeo, Mike Pence. I mean, I go down the list and I'd still forget people. Those are all really talented, good people and good candidates. Who have the Democrats got? Kamala Harris? I mean, she finished, what, 8th or 9th in her primary. I think their best person they've got on the bench is Gavin Newsom, who almost got recalled in California. We are better at developing talent. We just need to continue to do that, to find young people, to find old people, to find men, to find women, to find folks of all colors to go and run for office. Joe Kennedy is a friend of mine. Joe is one of those Kennedys. He's a Massachusetts Kennedy, Democrat, was in the House with me for a while. I met him. He had the locker next to me in the gymnasium, and I kept calling him Patrick, which is not his name. Every time he'd be talking to me, I'd say Patrick, he'd close the locker, and it says Joe Kennedy. I'm like, oh, God, I got his name wrong again. And I finally apologized, and he said, you know, Mick, don't worry. Just remember, I'm named after my great uncle. And I just looked at him. I said, Joe, I'm an Irish Catholic in the late 40s. We're all named after one of your great uncles. That doesn't really help us. But he's got to be a good friend of mine, and he left. He ran for Senate. And one of the reasons he ran for Senate was we had dinner one night with a group of us, and we pointed out to Joe Kennedy, Stanford undergrad, Harvard Law, really, and not really the cream of the crop, the pride of the Kennedy family. He's a really good man. He really is. In fact, I encourage my daughter, who's a Democrat, to work for his Senate race. That's how good a guy he is. But we joked with him one night. We said, Joe, face it. Because the way the Democrats run the House, you have a better chance of being the President of the United States than you do the chairman of the House Education Committee. We promote from within based upon a meritocracy. They end up doing it by seniority. And I can prove it to you here. I was in Washington for 6 years, and I was the chief of staff. I was pretty good at my job. I was really good at OMB, pretty good at CFPB. I was all right chief of staff. Ron Klein, who took my place, or actually took Mark Meadows' place, has been there since 1983. And his main qualities is that it was his turn. We are still a meritocracy. We still allow people with talent to filter up. The creed that we read on the way up, by the way, the reason that Tom had somebody else read it is that nobody memorizes it anymore. I don't even know it, so don't feel bad. I think Glenn might know it, but sometimes he'll ask me if he can do it without looking at the notes. It's really, really hard to remember. But part of that is that we believe in a meritocracy. We believe in promoting people based upon their ability, and the party still reflects that. And so when we can find these good people, we have to figure out a way to get them to run for office. Then we have to support them. We have to support them because no one else is going to do it for us. Okay? Why did Donald Trump tweet all the time? Donald Trump tweeted all the time because he knew that was the way to talk directly to his supporters. Okay? I'll never forget, I was in the OMB early in the administration. Paul Ryan was still the speaker, and he calls me up. We were having a conversation about health care. And he goes, Mick, listen, man, can you get him to stop tweeting? And I said, no, Paul, I can't get him to stop tweeting. No one can get him to stop tweeting. That's what he does. He's like, oh, man, he's killing us on this health care thing with his tweeting. I don't. I said, Paul, I can't help you. The same afternoon, Paul calls back and says, hey, Mick, yeah, we got another vote on this healthcare thing this afternoon. Do you think you could get the president to put out a tweet about it? True story. True story. And I love reminding Paul that every time I see it. Why did he tweet? Because that's how we supported his own ideas. That's how we got our folks educated. They are not going to do it for us in the media. We polled. I was chief of staff 2019 February. We did the State of the Union speech. Great speech. We had polling data in the 24 hours after the speech that if you had seen the speech, okay, regardless of your political affiliation, you had a generally about 70% of the people who watched the speech had a good impression of the speech. Okay, Republican, Democrat, male, female, black, white, whatever, someplace in the low 70s. Within another 48 hours after that, if you hadn't seen the speech, but you'd read about it or saw it on cable news, your approval rating for the speech was someplace in the low 40s. Same speech. Okay, we knew that when our message went out through the filter of the media, we were absolutely going to lose. They are not on our side. And in fact, they're not really interested in the truth. I'll tell you a story that has nothing to do with politics, but everything to do with what the media is all about today. I was fortunate enough when I was the director of Office of Management and Budget, I went down to Florida with the president one weekend to work on the budget. He went off to play golf in the morning at his club, and I was going to go play golf with a congressman friend of mine from a little further up the Florida coast. And we show up, and the fourth, it was me, Tom Rooney, his buddy, and Jack Nicklaus. So if you're a golfer, this is sort of like, you know, going to meet the Pope. This was a big deal for me. And I took 1,000 pictures of me playing golf with Jack Nicklaus, mostly of me doing this when he wasn't looking. But when I got done with that round of golf, my staff called me and they said, look, one of the Washington rags is writing, called us and they want to comment about your day today. And I said, what do they want? I said, well, they're going to write a story that said you played golf today with the president and that he is vetting you for the new chief of staff position. I said, okay, that's cool, that's great. I did play golf today, but I played golf someplace else, didn't play with the president, and I played with Jack Nicklaus, and here's 1,700 pictures that I sent, okay? We sent those pictures to the reporter, along with a statement saying, no, your story is wrong. They ran the story anyway. I called the reporter on Monday and I said, what the hell is that? How could you do that? You got an anonymous source who tells you something false. We go on the record and tell you the truth and send you proof. And he said, Mick, look, you know, if I'm right, I've got a story, and if I'm wrong, who cares? That's the media. That's the media that you do in Washington, D.C. Anybody here who has done anything in the public and read about themselves in the media will know that the chances of them getting 100% right are about zero. The chances of getting it right when you are a Republican in Washington, D.C. is absolutely zero. They are out to get us. And that's why it's so important that we get our own message out there. I said this to the group upstairs before we came down, that you are the best representatives of our party. Because you are the unfiltered messengers of what we stand for. Not only what you say, but in what you do, okay? If you want to learn about us through the media, you're not going to like us very much. If you're going to learn about us from the folks who sit next to you in church or you see in the line at the grocery store, we're going to do just fine. But we need you folks to get out there and support the message and to support those really, really good candidates that we can find because no one else is going to do it for us. Lastly, I want to talk about, not lastly, next to lastly. It used to be lastly, and then I had added something. So next to lastly, we need to stop fighting amongst ourselves. We just do. We need to stop fighting amongst ourselves. I can't tell you how excited I was, and maybe you were too, at the beginning of this Congress when we thought that maybe Nancy Pelosi didn't have the votes to be Speaker, okay? And it was on Fox for like 3 weeks at a time, and I thought it was fabulous because I know Nancy Pelosi, and she's not a good person. There's a lot of Democrats who are, Nancy, anyway, and I thought it was great. How cool is it that they might have a fight amongst themselves in order to deny Nancy Pelosi the Speaker's chair? How great is that? They get just as excited about us when we fight amongst ourselves. And when I got Matt Gaetz, okay, who I've served with a little bit, going out and said he's not going to vote for Kevin McCarthy for Speaker, I want to take the guy and beat him over the head with a racket. Simply because when we have those types of disagreements in public, all it does is deflate us and energize our opposition. I'm not here to speak against primaries. I think primaries are the greatest thing ever, okay? I think they're fantastic. I'm going to be opposite the president on one. I'm going to be in Nancy Mace, who's a friend of mine. I'll be supporting her along with Nikki Haley against Arrington, who the president is going to support. I think that's great. I think that's healthy. I think that's good for the party. At the end of that, however, we need to figure out a way to get together so that we come together as a party. We lost that same seat back in 2018 because we didn't do that. When Arrington beat Mark Sanford in a primary, we screwed up as a party and we could not figure out a way to get along with each other afterwards. And Mark Sanford was actually against Katie Arrington. And the result of that was that we lost that seat. And people might say, oh, no big deal. Jim DeMint used to tell, Jim was a mentor of mine, still is, good friend. And I remember him telling me one time that he would rather have a minority of 40 senators, 40 really, really good Republicans in the Senate, as opposed to 51, including moderates. And I used to believe that until we lost the 2 Senate races last year. Right? And now I think we're seeing what happens when we lose seats that we should not lose. This country looks very different today than it would have been if we could have won those 2 Georgia seats. And we were too busy fighting amongst ourselves over stuff that really didn't matter, as opposed to keeping the eye on why we do this, which is to help save the country, okay? And we have to figure out after the primaries, and again, I think primaries are extraordinarily healthy. But after that, we need to figure out a way to come together. Because when we fight amongst ourselves, as Glenn said, the only people who can beat us in these midterms is us. All right? We've got the side of history on us in terms of how an incumbent president does in a first term. We've got all of the things that are important to people are on our side right now. When people care about the economy, they vote Republican. When they care about health care, they vote Democrat. Right now, they care about the economy. We are going to win this race unless we screw it up ourselves. So we have to figure out a way at the end of the process to bring it together. I was critical of the president. I talked about this at the table. The president took a position that I thought was wrong when he beat up on John McCain. Okay? And don't get me wrong, I couldn't stand John McCain. John McCain was the only Republican to vote against my confirmation for the Office of Management and Budget, and voted against me after he gave me his word that he would vote for me. Okay? So I am not up here anywhere to defend John McCain. But I sat in the Oval Office and said, Mr. President, why are you doing this? Well, he's a bad guy. Yeah, he is. But there's not a single person in Arizona who was going to vote for Joe Biden who now is going to vote for you because you were nasty about John McCain. Are there people who might have voted for you who are not going to vote for you anymore because you beat up on John McCain? Yeah. Politics is a game of addition, and we need to figure that out. Primaries are we have the family squabbles, we have the family fights, but at the end of the day, we have to figure out a way to come together. Back in the early days of the Freedom Caucus, there was a Republican running in San Diego, a seat that we had not won for 20 years. But he had a chance. He was a moderate Republican from San Diego. And we were trying to figure out, as a House Freedom Caucus, which I helped found, by the way, I'm about as right-wing nut job as you can get, okay? And here's a moderate Republican running in downtown San Diego, and he has a chance. We're trying to figure out if we're going to give this guy some money, right? And Mark Meadows stands up and says, well, we can't give this guy money because he's gay. And I'm like, okay, Mark, I get that, and I think he's probably going to vote differently than we would on a couple of family things, but he might be really good for us on a bunch of different things, and maybe we keep the House. He's like, no, that's a grave sin. And I'm like, all right, I really hope we don't become the party of the sinless, because last time I checked, that was a party of one, okay? The funny part about that is, without missing a beat, Jim Jordan goes, no, there's two. And I'm trying to think of myself, because I'm Roman Catholic. Does he think about the Virgin Mary? Where's he possibly coming up with? I said, Jim, what are you talking about? He said, no, John Kasich from Ohio. Just ask him. But that's an inside joke for the folks from Ohio. I can't stand Liz Cheney. Okay, Liz and I fight all the time. I just don't like her. She has this attitude that, you know, shoot first, ask questions later. Let's start a war and figure out how that helps the country. And I'm not like that. I've never liked Liz. But if she wins her primary, I will be supporting her, because she's going to be better than the Democrat. And if we haven't learned our lesson yet on those Georgia races, then shame on us for not figuring out how to keep the end goals in mind. This is where I used to stop the speech and wrap up, and I had to change it because I gave this one time about 6 months ago. A friend of mine was the chair down in Lee County, which used to be in my district. And we'd actually bought a dog from her, so she asked me as a favor to come down and give a speech. I gave a speech. There's not a lot of Republicans in Lee County. There's about 30 people in the room. And after I gave a speech, a nice lady walks up to me and she says, well, you know, there was a gentleman here a month ago who gave a speech. Do you know Mr. Wood? And I'm like, Lynn Wood? She goes, yes. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know Lynn Wood. Why? She showed me the YouTube clip of his speech. at the Lee County, I think it was Lee County Republican Club. You can find it on the internet if you want to. Go find Linwood. And this is a paraphrase of the speech. You got asked a question about is the country safe with Joe Biden as president? And Linwood's response was, "Madam, let me put your mind at ease, because I was in the Oval Office in the last days of the first term, and I saw Donald Trump sign the Insurrection Act, and he is still the President of the United States. And more importantly than me knowing that, the military knows that. And they know that if we go to war with China or Russia tomorrow, they don't call Joe Biden, they call Donald Trump, because he still has the nuclear codes, and only he can commit our nuclear forces." When we are listening like people to that for political advice, we are making a grave mistake. When we listen to crazy people, when we listen to stupid people, if you are getting advice on the Constitution from the guy you buy your pillows from, we are making a mistake. And again, like I said, I'm not running for office. I don't care if I'm offending anybody. That's not right. That's not right. We cannot be that dumb as a party. We have a lot of smart people in this party. We have a lot of smart people in this room. And for some reason, we have started listening to crazy people at some time over the course of the last several years. We need to stop that. We are our own worst enemy sometimes when it comes to these elections. We have a chance to do something really, really special. We have a chance to go back to the policies that we had under Donald Trump. We have a chance to go back to the point where everybody had a job, wages were going up, and I'm not just talking about wages for rich people, I'm talking about wages for everybody. Everybody did better under Donald Trump. In fact, proportionally, the folks at the bottom end of the economic scale were doing better under Donald Trump than they were before, and they are doing now. And we did all that with no inflation. We were exporting energy. Gas prices were low. Again, everybody was working. We're still 2.5 million workers short of where we were at the height of the Trump administration. We have a chance to go back and do that, all right? But we can't be stupid about it. We have to figure out a way to get out of our own way and let our policies make the arguments for us and make these smart people who we know we can find in every community like this go up and take the torch for the party and say, look, this is what it means to be a Republican. This is the kind of policies you get if you elect us. This is the kind of country that you'll have if you elect us. And we desperately, desperately need that. I think we can win elections. I know we can win elections. And the bottom line is that it's up to us. It's up to us. And the fact that you're here tonight tells me that you're willing to do what it takes to help win elections. And I mean at the school board. I mean at the county council. I mean at every single race that we can get. We can save the state. We can save the country. We can do everything that we wanted to do when we became Republicans in the first place. But we have to figure out a way to work together. We have to figure out a way to talk to each other. We have to figure out a way to win some elections. So with that, I'm driving back to Lancaster and see what happens on social media tomorrow and see what happens if I get a nasty phone call from the president. But I just want to thank you all for doing it. I really do. I used to do this because it was my job, and I enjoyed my job. I really did. I got paid to do something that I would have done for free. But it means even more to just come and do it for fun. Because what y'all do does make a difference, and you don't hear that nearly enough. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the party. Thank you for the steak. I was only expecting barbecue tonight, so steak was even better. And thank you for all you do for this state and for this nation. So y'all have a great night and have a great weekend. Thank you very much.
Y'all, one more time for the Honorable Mick Mulvaney. Thank you. Once again, want to thank Midway Barbecue for providing the dinner for tonight. I thought it was absolutely excellent. Just really, really good. So thank you so much to Midway Barbecue, Jay Allen, and the folks there. Also, before we leave tonight, we have at a table back here the Union County, South Carolina Republican Women's Group. Ladies, if you are interested in getting involved here in Union County with the Republican Party, you need to speak to the ladies that serve with the Union County Republican Party. They're all involved. Also, this table back here, you'll see Ms. Carolyn Lawson. Please speak with her before the end of the night, and she will give you more information. Those meetings are the fourth Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m., and that's at 708 South Duncan Bypass in Union Suite D, the same place that the Republican Party meets. On everybody's table tonight, I know that you've noticed there are cards. We want you to take these home with you. Now, if you're a Republican, this is what we believe. It's a Republican platform. Take these with you. At times when you have discussions out in public, or you just need to kind of take a look at it for yourself and understand where you may stand, these cards are here for you. Know your party. That's also on the back of it. These cards were printed for you to take with you should you wish to. The other card that's on your table is a card for the Union County Republican Party that has our names on it and how you can get in contact with us. So if you wish to get in contact with us, reach out to us. We also have a Facebook page. Be sure to check that out as well. I know that I thank the VIP sponsors, and I still want to say thank you again. We really appreciate everything you did. To the individuals that bought tickets, thank you so much for spending time with us tonight. Everyone in this room are VIPs, and I really appreciate everything you've done. You're the ones that made this possible. In closing, I'm going to say this. 2022, how are the elections going to shape out? That's left up to us, isn't it? 2024, how are those elections going to shape out? Who is that left up to? That's right, each and every one of us in this room. We have the opportunity locally, state, and national to vote in good conscience about where we stand and what we believe in. And we want you to know Union County has a home for the Republican Party. And we look forward to seeing you at the meetings. We look forward to seeing you at the banquets that we do have. We have other functions we'll be putting on for each and every one of you. We want everybody to come out. If you're Democratic, if you're middle of the road, you're independent, we welcome you to come to these meetings that we're going to have. Again, it's all about community. It's about us at the end of the day. We have to depend on one another. And we're looking forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you so much for making this possible, because this event that we've put on sold out in 2 weeks, thanks to you. I want everybody to drive safe. God bless. Have a good night.
All right, Charlotte. Scarlett, how'd you like it?
I enjoyed this. I enjoyed getting to know and understanding and listening to what they had to say. And
Right, it's and what we like mostly, of course, about the people, and we're invited us to do this live. We had a couple little hiccups here because people using my internet.
I mean, we have to get a password on that.
I got to stop it. I got to put a password on it. That's right. But overall, everything went good. Mick Mulvaney did a great speech. All the others did. And thank you, Scarlett, for being here with me and hosting this event.
Thank you for having me. Dinner was great. The speeches were good. Union County has a Republican GOP now, and it's just our job to broadcast Union County stuff.
That's it. Folks, you have a good night, and God bless.